Thanks for joining us today. And I'm going to start off today by Barney, would you please tell us and tell our viewing audience, what is Building for Babies?
Well, actually, Donna, Building for Babies started last year. The hospital came to the foundation asking us to commit to them $1 million to a $2 million project to remodel, at that time, the Women's Center. And we committed to doing that. With reimbursement for the hospital, they realized that they didn't have the other $1 million to put in the $2 million project.
Oh dear.
That's right, oh dear.
Oh dear.
And so they came back again and said to our foundation board and John and others, and asked us if we would commit another $1 million to the Women and Newborn Care Center, which that is now what we call our Women's Center. And the hospital foundation made a commitment that we would commit $2 million. So last year, we, through our Building for Babies program that everyone's heard about, we, Stella and John and the Major Gifts Committee and our foundation board in our community raised about $1.3 million.
You know, normally I would say I'm surprised, but this is the most generous community I've ever had the pleasure of being
Donna,
part of.
You're so right, and that's what's so exciting about our hospital. Our community supports their hospital, and that's what they did through that campaign last year. So now we're in the second phase of that Building for Babies, which is a buy block. And Stella and John are leading that campaign and doing a great job. We're making great headway, but we still have a lot of blocks to buy. So you guys tell us more about the buy block campaign.
Well, John has been with us since our very first capital campaign, and this is your fifth campaign? Fourth or
like
fifth,
at least
right?
that,
Okay. And so we had to spend some time with the Major Gifts Committee and the Foundation Board. How are we going to raise this extra or the additional $750,000?
Right.
And we had this idea we envisioned a mural on a wall that depicted a child's playroom, and in that child's playroom we would have hundreds of blocks. Well, and one of the things that we'll do, and John had a great idea this morning, we're going to get a picture, Barney, of the mural that we can show, so people really have a vision of what it looks like.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
In real life.
Right.
So we're working on that, right?
It's beautiful.
Well, we decided on the Buy a Block campaign, and through lots of meetings, and we decided that we would do this on a level of having different sizes of blocks that go with different levels of giving. So John, you want to talk about the different blocks we have?
Well, I know we have different colors and we have different sizes, and I think later Stella will be kind of pointing them out. We have something here to show. I know that the picture that we have of the mural does not really give it justice.
Oh, it doesn't do it
until you
justice.
walk up to it,
Yeah.
you say, "Whoa," and it's really unique. I know that our nursery, that the women's area there's nothing been done to it really for 15 years.
That's right, John.
Now, and it really moved us up in the quality of care, the comfort, and the attractiveness of it, plus the ability to take care of younger our babies with issues that we
Right.
would have had to
Our
ship
premature
early.
babies, we don't
preemies
have to
and
ship them out
things.
like
So
we once
it's
did.
really a step up for us, and something we're really proud of. And this is just to finish paying for that and paying for all the equipment and the the things in the nursery and things that give us like live care with Arkansas Children's Hospital with
Right.
where they monitor the babies.
You know, John, about a month ago, I went up to the Women and Newborn Care Center, and we were going to do a training session with our staff so that they would know how to answer some questions that maybe new parents might have once they saw the Buy a Block card in their new packets. And there were only like 3 staff members that showed up, and they had 4 babies ready for delivery. So we worked with that part, and then later on that day, I went back to the evening staff, and then there were only 2 staff members there.
More
Well,
babies.
they were up to 6 babies ready to be delivered. The next day, they had 10 babies being delivered, and there are 10 beds in the new nursery. So it was a wonderful feeling, and they were all happy and buzzing around, and it was kind of neat to see that the excitement on that floor of all these babies being born. So
You know, it's really unique. We live in a retirement area.
yeah.
And we birth over 650 babies a year at Baxter Regional. And so I say our retirees are doing pretty well.
I think you're right, Barney. That's correct.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the levels of the blocks, I know that they start at $5,000 and more for the top ones, but the smaller blocks, actually, when there's a lot of them, are $500, and you have, I think, up to 5 years to actually pay for them. I mean, that's a pretty minor
Right.
contribution.
We, on this mural, it's a 20-foot long mural, and it's 5 feet high, and we have 385 blocks on this wall, on this mural, that are ready to be, how do I say, ready for a donor to put their name on it. And John, if you'll hold that one up, I've got a small one there. These are just samples, but you can see they're wooden, and they are actually screwed onto this.
$500. Well, you know, we can't afford $500, but I said, well, think about it. What if you would just give $8.33 a month, and it would come out of your checking account, and you would never know it? They said, we'll do that. And so
Perfect.
this is a perfect way for people, you know, who are just getting started out, want to be a part of the philanthropic effort to support their hospital, Baxter Regional, a way to do it. And young couples can do this. Grandpa and grandmas can do
You
this, Donna.
bet.
And the exciting thing is that we're seeing that happen. But we've got to sell 300 some odd blocks, right?
You're right, you're right.
But one of the great thing is you get to name your, whatever you want to put on there. I mean,
Right.
in honor of your kids or your grandkids or just the community. So, I mean, you have an opportunity to leave a mark and show that you appreciate the hospital and how it's affected your family and the children that are born here. So,
And John, you're right. In fact, Estella has a great example about, you know, a grandmother bought blocks for her grandchildren. So what we do, and Estella did this, she took pictures of the blocks and sent to the grandchildren, this is what grandma did just for you.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of
neat.
things, we want to make it a personal touch for different people.
And then one of my other favorite stories is the couple that came in and said they're in their mid-80s, and they came to us and said, we don't have any children. So we sat down, we kind of talked about it, and their block says, to the children of Baxter County. And then their names from their names as donors. So we've been real creative. You know, someone has, you know, grandchildren decide what they're going to call the grandparents. And this particular instance, yeah, here's a Mimi and Pawpaw. So to our grandchildren, Amy, Seth, and Tommy, from Mimi and Pawpaw. So we're only limited by our creativity as to what we're going to put on these blocks.
And to be part of the history of Baxter Regional Medical Center. You know, when we did the 50th, getting people together that had the 50th year anniversary and celebration, at the donor banquet, we found how many people had been born at the hospital, and their children have been born at the hospital. And in some cases, 3 generations have already been born at the hospital. What a wonderful way to honor that family by buying a block.
You know, and that's our hope, Donna, that people who have had children born at Baxter Regional will honor those children by doing that, buying a block. And, you know, it won't take us long to fill up the mural with blocks if we just have a few folks step up to the plate and help us.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll be able to do that. I think as people know what the process is to actually buy a block for Building for Babies, I think they will do that. And I think the exciting thing is that we not only have Baxter County, but John resides over in Marion County. And Marion County has been a tremendous supporter of their hospital, which we are the Marion County Hospital too. So
You bet,
we
you bet.
appreciate that.
I think the people that haven't done this yet just they have not walked through that hall.
Right.
Because, you know, if you walk through that hall and you notice all the people that are already there, the support they've given, and the knowing the needs that we have to provide this kind of care, they'll want to have their block up there.
You bet.
You know.
Let's-
We
Go
need
ahead,
to
Don, I'm
take
sorry.
I'm sorry, we need to take a short break. But we'll
Okay.
be right back. Don't go away, we've got a great rest of the show for you, so we'll be back in just a moment.